Hey everybody, Who's Your Jedi here with another review for you. This time talking episode 6 of season 3 of The Flash called Shade. And apologize for this this review going up so late. If you watch my channel update that I put up recently, you'll understand why I'm rather behind on my reviews lately. But anyway, let's get into things. First of all, I was pretty excited when I heard that this episode was going to was called because it's obviously a reference to the Shade, a villain who's kind of started as a Flash villain, but really became best known for being a supporting character in the Starman comics back in the 90s. Now, Starman from that era is one of my absolute favorite comic book series of all time. And the Shade there was an extremely interesting character. He was more or less one of the main cast members. He had a really rich backstory. There were even things called the Shade's journals, where they would take pages out of the comic and just show him, like pages from his journal, talking about what was happening in the city, in the comics, things from his life. I mean, he even got his own mini series which explored his backstory. And I mean, he was just a really, really great character, and it really got into his motivations, like why does he do these things he does, and what kind of person he is, and his interests. I mean, I just loved him as a character, and I love that Starman series so much. Here, though, I mean, this is the character. I mean, she doesn't even speak in this episode. In the comics, his origin was basically rooted in magic. Here, they gave him a scientific origin. We don't even learn why he kills that random Asian guy, and we certainly don't learn that his actual name is Richard Swift. Although, in all fairness, that's only ever really been mentioned once in the comics. So, yeah, I was just horribly, horribly disappointed by that. On the stuff where they do a little bit better with the characters, the Joe Cecile thing seems to be brewing nicely. They sort of set up that her daughter might pop up and prove to be a character of some note later on. Which, okay, let's see where that goes. Harrison Wells HR finds out that that he's basically wanted for murder on this earth, thanks to Eobard Thawne. He does rightfully get a little upset that nobody had told him this earlier. Also seems a little odd that as long as he's been there, he has yet to leave the Star Labs building. But, okay, we'll go with that. He does finally name his partner back on Earth 19. Name doesn't ring any bells, and I haven't seen anybody jumping out and saying, like, oh, it's a reference to this character, so... Still, I have a feeling that'll probably come up sometime later on. We also found out that Gorilla Grodd has a counterpart on Earth 19, which potentially very interesting. And we also get to see how they get around the whole thing with HR being able to leave the building with, I forget what they called it there on the show. I'm just going to call it an image inducer. So, okay, that's fine. And it was definitely fun to sort of see him out at that festival, sort of goofing around. And we got to see a little bit of Earth 19 money, which was a nice touch. So the whole thing with Caitlin and Cisco, that was, I think, maybe not. I mean, I understand kind of what they're going for. It just didn't quite work for me. Of course, we have Cisco decides when he vibes her and sees her and him fighting in the future, he immediately decides to lie to Caitlin, and of course, this doesn't even last the episode, which is both bad in that it's, well, why did you bother to set that up if it isn't really going to go anywhere? And also good because that was stupid of Cisco to do. And yeah. And I understand why Caitlin is upset when he explains to the rest of the team that, like, yeah, I saw Caitlin and I fighting in the future, and she sort of sees that as a betrayal of her trust and her confidence in him. On the other hand, Caitlin, at the point where the vision included you trying to kill him, Cisco had a vested interest that he could not ignore, not being killed. And that sort of makes this kind of about him as well. So him telling the rest of the team, when he had good reason to believe that his life was in danger. Yeah. So you can understand where Caitlyn's coming from, but at that point, Cisco had a right and an obligation to tell the rest of the team. Never mind the fact that by telling the rest of the team, Caitlyn has more super smart people who can try to help her. So, yeah. Also funny how the situation with the power handcuffs led to some interesting revelations about what HR likes to do in his free time. Also like that Julian and Barry are not immediately friends. I mean, Julian says like, "Look, man, we shared a drink, we shared a little bit of a bonding moment. That doesn't make us best friends," which, in all fairness, is not unreasonable. On the other hand, this is definitely a case of like Barry is seriously trying to extend an olive branch here. He is like trying to like, "Look, man, let's try to get along. Work with me here. I'm trying to. Your thing is that you don't trust me. I'm inviting you to hang out with me and my friends, get to know me, who I am." Barry's trying to meet Julian halfway here, and Julian's not biting. Which, again, he's not under any obligation to do. It's just like, you're kind of coming across as the one who's the problem here, man. I mean, you did have legit grievances against Barry, but he's trying to make amends with you. And again, if somebody feels somebody does you wrong, they're trying to make amends. You're not obligated to accept that. But if you're going to reject it, do so in a way that doesn't make you seem like a dick. Also, Julian's excuses of yeah, I'm going to go hang out with my girlfriend. That seems a little fishy. I mean, it seems like they're really, really trying to convince you that he's Dr. Alchemy, which, given his name and the comics and all, would make perfect sense. But still, you kind of have the feeling like, okay, there's got to be a twist in here somewhere. Speaking of Dr. Alchemy, of course, Wally starts hearing voices and having visions and stuff regarding him. And it's interesting just how genuine and, paternal Alchemy is when Wally does finally get down there. He does seem to genuinely think he's doing something good, and that he is helping people like Wally with what he's doing. Of course, this all ultimately leads to Wally getting cocooned up, which going to be very interesting to see how that all pans out. And this, we also get to see the cult, which, in the comics, Alchemy did not have a cult, but Savitar did, so one can't help but wonder if maybe it's not Savitar's cult who are just helping Alchemy out. And then we get to see Savitar himself, and he looks like Megatron from the Michael Bay Transformer movies. I mean, granted, in the comics, Savitar looks kind of dumb. He's a guy in this sort of half helmet who runs around without a shirt on. I mean, that's kind of always been my main reaction to Savitar is like, dude, put on a shirt. But this is, yeah, I mean, he's fucking. He's effing Megatron from those shitty Michael Bay movies. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You can't come up with something better than this? I mean, granted, this freaky appearance and the way like he appears and all, it comes across as a great way to interpret this idea of like, this is somebody who believes themselves to be the god of speed. Okay, I'll let you have that, but he still looks ridiculous. I don't think I got anything more than that. Let's see. Honestly, after that, folks, I think I'm a little bit spec, so I'm just going to leave it there. So, with all of that said, I'm going to call it here. My brain is just, once again, Michael Bay has found something new he can ruin, which, of course, is this one. Alright, so, thanks for watching. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Hoosier Jedi, and please also join me on Tumblr at Jedi Reviewer. So next time, take care and have a good one.